Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's B1 Level podcast. In this episode, we begin a long, connected story about Tom, who has moved to a new city called Riverford. This is part one, and it will introduce new challenges, friendships, and experiences. Tom has been living in Riverford for about a week now. He is still getting used to the city, the sounds of cars, the busy streets, and the people who walk quickly everywhere. Every morning, he wakes up early, drinks a cup of tea, and looks out of his window at the river. The view is beautiful, but he sometimes feels lonely because he hasn't made many friends yet. One morning, Tom decides to take a long walk through the city center. He wants to understand the city better and maybe find a place to meet new people. He walks past cafes, small shops, and a busy market. The market is full of colors, fresh fruits, vegetables, flowers, and spices. The smell is amazing, and Tom feels happy to be in such a lively place. While walking, Tom notices a small bookstore. He loves books, so he decides to go inside. The bookstore is quiet and cozy. Shelves are full of novels, magazines, and newspapers. Behind the counter is a young woman with glasses and a friendly smile. "Hello, can I help you?" she asks. Tom smiles and says, "Hi, I just moved here. I love reading and want to see your collection." The woman introduces herself as Emily. She tells Tom about the most popular books in the city, new arrivals, and some local authors. Tom feels comfortable talking to her. They share their favorite books, and for the first time since moving, Tom feels he has found someone friendly. Emily invites Tom to join a book club that meets every Thursday evening. Tom is excited because he really wants to meet more people and improve his English. He accepts the invitation and thanks Emily warmly. After leaving the bookstore, Tom walks through a nearby park. Children are playing, people are jogging, and some elderly people are sitting on benches talking quietly. He sits on a bench for a few minutes thinking about the day. "I think Riverford is starting to feel like home," Tom says to himself. "It's strange, but I feel that things will get better." Later that afternoon, Tom returns to his apartment. He starts unpacking more boxes, arranging his things, and organizing his room. Even though he feels tired, he's happy. He knows that moving to a new city is not easy, but every small step helps him adapt. In the evening, Tom writes in his notebook about his first week in Riverford. He writes about the people he met, the streets he explored, and his plans for the upcoming days. Writing helps him organize his thoughts and reminds him of his goals: to learn, grow, and enjoy life in the new city. As Tom closes his notebook, he hears a soft knock on his door. It is Mrs. Harper, the building manager. She brings a small basket of homemade cookies and says, "Welcome again, Tom. I thought you might like these after a long day." Tom smiles and thanks her. He realizes that small acts of kindness can make a big difference, especially when you're in a new place. That night, he goes to bed feeling grateful, excited, and ready for the adventures that await him in Riverford. And this is only the beginning of Tom's journey. In the next part, he will face new challenges, make more friends, and discover the secrets of the city. Welcome back to our B1 Level podcast. In this episode, we continue Tom's story in Riverford. This is part 2, and things are about to get more interesting for him. The next morning, Tom wakes up early. He stretches and looks out of the window. The sun is shining and the river sparkles in the light. He feels excited because today he will visit the book club that Emily invited him to. Tom prepares a small breakfast, drinks his tea, and checks the address Emily gave him. It is in a cafe not far from his apartment. After putting on a jacket, he leaves his apartment carrying a notebook and a pen. He wants to write down his thoughts during the club meeting. As he walks through Greenhill Street, he notices familiar faces from the market and the park. Some people smile, some nod at him, and a few even greet him. Tom feels that the city is slowly becoming familiar and friendly. When he arrives at the cafe, it is warm and inviting. The walls are decorated with paintings, and the smell of coffee and pastries fills the air. Emily is already there, sitting at a small table with two other people, a young man named Daniel and a woman named Sarah. "Hi, everyone. I'm glad you came," Emily says, smiling. "Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me," Tom replies. The four of them start talking about their favorite books. Daniel loves mystery novels, while Sarah enjoys science fiction. Emily and Tom share their love for adventure stories. The conversation flows easily, and Tom feels comfortable. After some time, Emily suggests an activity. "Let's write a short story together. Each person writes a sentence and the next person continues." Tom feels nervous but excited. He writes the first sentence. "On a rainy morning, a mysterious letter appeared at the city library." Daniel adds, "The letter was addressed to someone who had never lived in Riverford before." Sarah continues, "It contained a map leading to a hidden treasure under the old bridge." Emily writes, "And a small key was attached to the letter with a golden ribbon." The story grows, becoming more complex and creative. Tom laughs and enjoys the challenge. He realizes that working with others can be fun, and that different perspectives make stories richer. After the activity, the group talks about their plans for the weekend. Emily suggests visiting the old library and exploring hidden parts of the city. Tom agrees, feeling excited about the adventure. On his way home, Tom thinks about how different his life is now compared to the small town he left behind. He remembers his first days of loneliness and realizes that making friends takes courage, patience, and openness. Later that evening, as Tom writes in his notebook, he reflects on the day. He met new friends, he shared stories and ideas, he explored the cafe and the city, he felt part of a community. Tom smiles and writes, "Every day I feel more confident. Riverford is starting to feel like home." But not everything is easy. The next day, Tom faces a challenge. While walking to the market, he accidentally drops his wallet. When he reaches for it, it is gone. Tom feels panic rising. He searches the streets, retracing his steps and asking people if they have seen it. After about 10 minutes, a young boy runs up to him. "Excuse me, sir, is this your wallet?" he asks, handing it back. Tom feels relief and gratitude. He thanks the boy, realizing that the people in the city can be kind and helpful even to strangers. That night, Tom thinks about the lessons he learned. Mistakes can happen, but it's important to stay calm. People can be kind and helpful even if they are strangers. Challenges are part of life, and each one is an opportunity to learn. Tom goes to bed feeling tired but satisfied. He knows that living in a new city is not always easy, but each day brings new experiences, lessons, and connections. And so, Tom's journey continues. In the next part, he will explore the old library with Emily, Daniel, and Sarah. They will uncover mysteries, solve puzzles, and experience adventures that will change their lives forever. It was a Saturday morning when Tom woke up. The sky was bright and birds were singing outside. He felt excited and nervous at the same time. Today, he would visit the old library, a place full of history, secrets, and mystery. He prepared his bag carefully. He brought his notebook and pen, a small flashlight, a bottle of water, some snacks in case the adventure lasted long. He met Emily, Daniel, and Sarah at the cafe near the library entrance. They all greeted each other with smiles and a little excitement. Emily had printed a map of the library, showing the areas they wanted to explore. "The library is huge," Emily said. "Some parts are closed to the public, but we can see interesting things if we are careful." Tom felt a little nervous. "I hope we don't get lost," he said. Daniel laughed. "Don't worry, we'll stick together. This is going to be fun." Sarah added, "And maybe we will find something special, like a hidden room or an old book no one has read for decades." The four of them entered the library. The air smelled of old paper, dust, and wood polish. Sunlight streamed through tall windows, casting patterns on the floor. The library was silent, except for the soft footsteps of people and the occasional whisper of a librarian. They started exploring the ground floor, looking at old books and maps. Tom felt amazed by the size of the place. Shelves went up to the ceiling, ladders leaned against the walls, and tiny reading corners were scattered everywhere. Emily suggested they go to the basement, where rare books and historical archives were kept. The stairs were narrow and slightly creaky. Tom felt a thrill as they descended. The basement was darker, colder, and smelled of old leather. "This is amazing," Daniel whispered. "It feels like we're in another world." Suddenly, Sarah noticed something unusual behind a tall bookshelf. A small wooden door was hidden in the shadow. "Look," she whispered. "I don't think anyone goes here." Tom approached carefully. The door was locked, but a rusty key was hanging on a hook nearby. Emily picked it up and tried it in the lock. Click! The door opened slowly, revealing a hidden room filled with old scrolls, books, and maps. Tom's eyes widened. "This is incredible! Look at all these books!" They entered the room carefully, looking at the treasures inside. Some books had golden letters, some were handwritten, and some were tied with ribbons. Old maps showed the city, the river, and forests around Riverford. Emily suggested, "Let's see if we can find something about the city's history. Maybe there are secrets no one knows." Tom picked up a dusty scroll. It told the story of Riverford hundreds of years ago, about explorers, merchants, and hidden treasures. He felt excited as he read aloud for the group. Daniel found a small locked box under a table. "I wonder what is inside," he said. Sarah carefully opened the box with a small tool she carried. Inside, they found old coins, a compass, and a letter. The letter said, "To those who find this room, the city has many secrets, but only those who are curious, brave, and kind will understand them. Keep exploring, and you will discover the truth." Tom read the letter aloud. The group felt amazed. They realized that the adventure was not only about books, but also about learning, exploring, and understanding Riverford in a deeper way. After spending several hours in the hidden room, they decided to go back upstairs. Tom felt happy and proud. He knew that this adventure had brought them closer together as friends. He also felt more confident navigating the city and discovering its hidden treasures. Before leaving, Emily said, "We should come back next week and explore more. Maybe there are more hidden rooms." Tom nodded eagerly. "Yes, I can't wait!" As they walked home, Tom thought about how much he had changed since moving to Riverford. He was no longer just a new person in the city. He was part of it. He had friends, adventures, and discoveries waiting for him. That night, Tom wrote in his notebook, "Today I explored the old library. I found a hidden room with my friends. I read stories about Riverford's past. I discovered that adventure can be found anywhere if you are curious. I feel happy and excited about tomorrow." Tom went to bed with a smile. He knew that every day in Riverford would bring new surprises, lessons, and unforgettable moments. And so, the adventure continues. In Part 4, Tom and his friends will face challenges outside the library, mysterious messages, secret codes, and new people that will test their courage and friendship. Welcome back to our B1 Level podcast. Today, we continue Tom's story in Riverford with Part 4. After discovering the hidden room in the old library, Tom, Emily, Daniel, and Sarah are about to face a new challenge: secret messages that could change everything. The next morning, Tom woke up feeling excited and a little nervous. He remembered the hidden room and the letter they had found in the box. The words "curious, brave, and kind" stayed in his mind. Today, they planned to return to the library, hoping to uncover more secrets. Tom packed his bag carefully. Notebook and pen, flashlight, magnifying glass, Daniel's idea, snacks, and water. He met Emily, Daniel, and Sarah at the cafe at 9 a.m. sharp. They shared excited greetings and reviewed their plan. Explore more hidden areas in the library, look for new messages or clues, take notes and photographs of interesting discoveries. As they entered the library, the familiar smell of old paper and wood filled the air. They went straight to the basement. Tom felt a thrill of anticipation. What would they find today? Once in the hidden room, they noticed something new. On the table, there was a small envelope with an unfamiliar symbol. Emily carefully opened it. Inside, there was a folded piece of paper with a riddle. I speak without a mouth. I hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with words. What am I? Tom read it aloud. What is it? He asked. Daniel thought for a moment. It sounds like a book? Or maybe a story? Sarah shook her head. Maybe it's a message hidden in the library itself. We have to look carefully. The four friends began exploring the room, checking bookshelves, old cabinets, and the maps on the walls. They noticed that some books had letters or numbers written in tiny ink on the corners of the pages. Emily realized something. Look, if we combine the letters from each book in order, maybe it will form a word. Tom, Daniel, and Sarah helped. They worked together, carefully following the pattern. After a few minutes, they discovered the word window. Tom looked around. The window? Which window? Sarah pointed to a small, high window near the ceiling. Maybe there's something hidden there. Daniel got a small ladder from the storage area, and Emily climbed carefully. Behind the window, they found another envelope. This one was older, and the paper was yellowed with age. Inside, there was another riddle. To find what you seek, follow the river at sunset. Look for the bridge where shadows meet. There you will discover the path. Tom read the message aloud. We have to go to the river at sunset? Emily nodded. Yes, it seems like someone left us clues. But why? And who is this person? Daniel smiled. I love mysteries. This is like a real-life adventure story. Sarah added, We need to be careful. The clues may be tricky or dangerous. After hours of planning and discussion, they decided to follow the instructions that evening. They packed their bags, brought flashlights, and prepared some snacks. Tom felt nervous but excited. He had never experienced anything like this in his life. As the sun began to set, the sky turned orange and pink. The friends walked toward the river, following the path shown on the old map. The city looked magical at this time. Reflections of the buildings and trees in the water, soft sounds of birds returning home, and the quiet hum of Riverford in the evening. When they reached the bridge mentioned in the riddle, they saw shadows crossing from one side to the other. Tom looked carefully and noticed a small engraved symbol on one of the bridge's stones. It matched the symbol on the envelope. Emily examined it closely. There's another small compartment here, Maybe it holds the next clue. Tom, Daniel, and Sarah helped her open it. Inside, they found a small metal key and a note. The key opens the chest beneath the old willow tree by the river. Be brave, be kind, and work together. Tom smiled. This is incredible! A hidden chest! Sarah added, we have to remember what the first letter said. We must be brave, kind, and curious. Daniel nodded. This is going to be an adventure we'll never forget. As they walked to the willow tree, they shared their excitement and worries. What if the chest was empty? What if someone else found it first? What if it was a trap? Tom realized something important. The journey was more than finding the chest. It was about teamwork, courage, curiosity, and trust. Finally, they arrived at the willow tree. Its long hanging branches almost touched the water. The ground was soft, and the air smelled of grass and river. They knelt together, searching carefully for a hidden compartment beneath the roots. After a few minutes, Tom shouted, I found it! The chest was small but heavy. They opened it slowly. Inside, they found old coins, a small journal, and another letter with the words, Your adventure has just begun. Continue to explore, learn, and grow. The city has many secrets, and only the brave and kind will find them all. Tom felt a mixture of excitement, pride, and happiness. He realized that Riverford was not just a city. It was a place full of mysteries, lessons, and possibilities. As they walked home under the stars, they promised each other to continue their adventures, to support each other, to explore every corner of Riverford, to be brave, kind, and curious. Tom went to bed that night feeling proud. He had friends he trusted, a city full of adventures, and a sense of purpose he had never felt before. And so, Part 4 ends, but the adventure continues. In Part 5, Tom and his friends will face even bigger mysteries, unexpected strangers, hidden puzzles, and secrets that could change everything in Riverford forever.